Hello, welcome back to the Divine Jenny Tarot. I want to read everybody this really important message that I've been meditating on for days. So if you have something that is important coming up, this is a really, really good thing to get in the forefront of your mind. The thought system that dominates our culture is faced with selfish values, and relinquishing those values is a lot easier said than done. The journey to a pure heart can be highly disorienting. Disorienting. For years, we may have worked for power. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this steady. For power, money, and prestige. Now, all of a sudden, we've learned that those are just the values of a dying world. We don't know where to search for motivation anymore. If we're not working in order to get rich, then why are we working at all? What are we supposed to do all day? Just sit at home and watch TV? Not at all, but thinking so is a temporary phase many people go through, when the values of the old world no longer have a hold on us, but the values of the new don't yet grab your soul. They will. There comes a time not too long into the journey of God when the realization that the world could work beautifully if we would give it the chance begins to excite us. It becomes our new motivation. The news isn't how bad things are. The news is how good they could be. And our own activity could be part of the unfolding of heaven on earth. There is no more powerful motivation than to feel we're being used in the creation of a world where love has healed all wounds. We are no longer ambitious for ourselves, but are rather inspired by the vision of a healed world. Inspiration rearranges our energies. It sources within us a new power and direction. We no longer feel like we're trying to carry a football to the finish line, clutching it in our chest and surrounded by hostile forces. We feel instead as though angels are pushing us from behind. Sorry, go like this. And making straight our path as we go. Purity of heart will not make us poor. The exaltation of poverty as a spiritual virtue is of the ego, not the spirit. A person acting from a motivation of contribution and service rises to such a level of moral authority that worldly success is a natural result. Give all your gifts away in service to the world. If you want to paint, don't wait for a grant. Paint a wall in your town that looks drab and uninviting. You never know who's going to see that wall. Whatever it is you want to do, give it away in service to your community. At my lectures in Los Angeles, I grew so tired of hearing actors moan about not getting jobs. Go to hospitals, to retirement homes, to mental institutions, I said. There was acting before there was acting jobs. If you want to act, act. Some people who heard me formed a group called the Miracle Players, and they did just that. I don't want to do it because I can't make a living doing it. I don't want to do it because I can't make a living doing it is a very weak beam to send into the universe. I lectured on A Course in Miracles for at least 2 years before it became the source of my income. When I started lecturing, I had no idea it would become my profession. Some things you do for no other reason than because they're the right thing to do. I'll do this because it serves, even if I'm not paid, is a very high beam. It says to the universe that you must be very serious, and when you get serious about the universe gets serious about you. I never felt the need to advertise much for my lectures. I figured if they were of genuine interest to people, then people would hear about them. That's not to say that advertising is bad, as long as the motivation for advertising is to inform people as opposed to manipulating them. Arnold Patton wrote that if you genuinely have something to say, there is someone who genuinely needs to hear it. We don't have to invent an audience so much as we have to hone the message we plan to give them once they get here. Serving 3 people is as important as serving 300. Once we're clear about how to deal with a small following, a large following will develop automatically. If that would serve the world. Our power lies in our charity about the role our work can play in the creation of a more beautiful world. The miracle is to think of our career as our contribution, however small, to the healing of the universe. The ego's world is based on finite resources, but God's world is not. In God's world, which is the real world, The more we give, the more we have. Our having a piece of the world's pie doesn't mean there's less for anyone else. And someone else having a piece of the pie doesn't mean there's less for us. So we needn't to compete in business or anywhere else. Our generosity towards others is key to our positive experience of the world. There's enough room for everyone to be beautiful. There's enough room for everyone to be successful. There's enough room for everyone to be rich. It is only, and I keep seeing the 222. It's the 221, but it's been a theme. Our thinking that blocks that possibility from happening. The people who have achieved more than you in any area are only a half step ahead of you in time. Bless them and praise their gifts, and bless and praise your own. The world would be less rich without their contributions, and it would be less rich without yours. There's more than room for everyone. In fact, there's a need for everyone. As we are healed, the world is healed. Doing anything for a purpose other than love means reliving the split from God, perpetuating, I hate shaking this, but it's that pinch nerve. Doing anything for a purpose other than love means reliving the split from God, perpetuating and maintaining that split. Every person is a cell of the body of human, like I keep getting these prompts, of human consciousness. At the moment, it is as though the body of Christ is suffering from cancer. In cancer, a normal working cell decides that it no longer wants to function in contribution to the whole. Instead of being part of the support system of the blood or the liver, the cell goes off and builds its own kingdom. That's a malignancy which threatens to destroy the organism. So it is with the body of humanity. Everyone's gone off to do their own thing. My career, my store, my money. We've lost sight of our essential interrelatedness, and this forgetfulness threatens to destroy us. The my mentality is the ego. It is the belief in separation. It is the cosmic disease. Taking what we have and devoting it to the restoration of the whole is our salvation and the salvation of the world. Our devotion then becomes our work, and our work becomes our devotion.